Hello, my dear young friends. A very warm welcome to the e-content learning. The topic for the session is group discussion, and in this session, I will discuss about how a group discussion is normally conducted. Group discussion, as you know, is a kind of semi-final or one step before your interview. Now, coming to the nitty gritty of group discussion, what is the way or what are the normal ways of conducting group discussion? Uh, it is it is very clear that there are no hard and fast rules when a group discussion has to be conducted. So there are no particular rules about conducting a group discussion. So what normally happens is the group discussions are actually arranged for a specific purpose. So there is a very clearly defined purpose of group discussion. And coming to the number of people, number of participants in a group discussion, it may not be a very huge group. Normally, a group of 7 to 10 persons, or sometimes 15, is the normally accepted number. So, this is the size of the participants in a group discussion because this is definitely a sizable group which can actively involve in a group discussion. Normally, our classrooms are bigger, and we may not have group discussions in the classroom as such, but we can definitely divide the class into various groups for this kind of group discussion practice. So, coming to the duration of group discussion. Normally, the duration of group discussion ranges between half an hour to 1 hour at the most. This is a normal practice because for something to emerge um, fruitfully, this is generally the normally accepted time because anything lesser or beyond this may not be fruitful to the objective. And now, when we come to the topics which are generally given for group discussion, the topics are generally broad based, and definitely they are worded in such a way that it acts as an irritant sometimes to thought. It is quite thought provoking, and it involves plenty of thinking, and definitely there is plenty of food for thought also. And what happens is usually the topic is announced around 30 minutes before the commencement of group discussion. So, half an hour before the group discussion, half an hour before the actual process, the topic is announced so that the participants can think, they can formulate their views so as to put them effectively in the group discussion. So 30 minutes is the time generally given for the candidates to prepare for group discussion. And now the seating arrangements in a group discussion. What are the methods of seating arrangements? Generally, the participants have to be seated in a circular way, so that most of them or almost everybody will be visible to each other, so that they can see the expressions and they can see the opinions and how the group discussion is happening. So these are the very basic things that are involved in group discussion. So, as I told you, sometimes there is also a pattern, and if the candidate can start the discussion, then it is better than someone else who doesn't start, because it is always the matter of who starts first. So generally, the person who starts first is definitely a kind of a unique personality, because a person who will always take the initiative is definitely having a lot of traits of a very good leader. So the first starter in a group discussion is very important. And they say usually the one who begins the discussion also will frame the rules for conducting the discussion. Then he or she will decide upon the time allotment and the process, the beginning and the conclusion. And now let's look at this one who can initiate, usually scores the first point for initiation. Now, the system is that every candidate gets the turn in order of the seats, or if someone jumps the line, the leader should get back the discussion as per the order. Then what happens generally is, usually the candidates with very good leadership skills will not allow the discussion to go astray. Maybe the discussion should not go off the track. And a good leader in a group discussion also will see to it that the given topics are not diverted, and which may lead to unnecessary controversies and troubles, and sometimes it may also lead to unnecessary arguments, and in extreme cases it may lead to verbal fighting also. So a good leader will definitely not allow such things to happen in a group discussion, because of which a healthy group discussion will emerge. Because the purpose of having a group discussion is to be, providing a solution, or to give some valuable thoughts, valuable inputs. And in the process, what happens? Your talent, which is hidden, which is inborn, which is hidden, it gets manifested. The talent will be manifest, and then definitely it is one step ahead for the progression. And in group discussion, generally there are some basic rules, or some kind of common sense rules, what you might say, because a group discussion might be sometimes leading to unhealthy arguments, and in the process one must not lose the self control and start pointing fingers and hands at one another. Such practices are forbidden in a group discussion. Generally what happens is, we must allow the candidates to get up if they're very anxious, and they must not use very offensive body language, because it will definitely upset the entire process of group discussion. And we must not allow someone to speak excessively, so that he will take away somebody's time, because what happens is someone who is over enthusiastic, and who starts going overboard, will definitely kill time, making it very detrimental for the other participants. And it's also important that there must not be any unnecessary interruptions, because what happens is, if there are unnecessary interruptions, then it might lead to the discussion losing track, because the discussions must be on track, and at the end, the outcome must be very fruitful. And it's also important that candidates in a group discussion must not do or talk anything which is unethical, which is abusive, and which is detrimental to the discussions, to the valuable time of the participants. So, anything which is unethical or abusive is definitely forbidden in a group discussion. So, these are generally the rules. Sometimes you might even say that these are all unwritten rules, but they are still very much in practice. Because what happens is, at the end of group discussion, one must always, get something fruitful. The outcome must be fruitful. And there should not be any racist or gender based discrimination, or we must not talk in such a way so as to hurt the sentiments of their religion or their caste or even gender for that matter. So, quickly summing up the points of today's session on how to conduct a group discussion, it is again told for your revision that the size may be 7 to 10 or 15 in a group discussion. Although there are no hard and fast rules, but the discussions must be conducted with a very special, with a specific purpose rather. And group discussions then generally bring out the best talent in the participants. Thank you, my dear friends, for your patient hearing.